What if I told you that one of the richest men in American history didn't inherit wealth, didn't come from power, and didn't even come from America? He came with nothing but a borrowed dream and turned it into an empire that reshaped the modern world. This is the secret playbook of Andrew Carnegie, the hidden billionaire who outsmarted every rival that stood in his way. Carnegie wasn't born into greatness. He was born into hunger, into a Scotland so poor that even hope felt expensive. His family arrived in America as immigrants with no money and no connections. But even then, the young boy understood one truth. No one was coming to save him. So he learned to save himself. While others saw poverty as a curse, he saw it as training. Every factory, every telegraph wire, every railroad line he touched became a lesson in how the world really worked. He became obsessed with speed, efficiency, and the invisible rules of power that controlled industry. By the time the Industrial Revolution roared across America, Carnegie wasn't just prepared. He was unavoidable. Carnegie understood something his rivals didn't. The future belonged to steel. Steel would build the rails, build the bridges, build the skyscrapers, and shape the new American century. But he didn't want to compete. He wanted to dominate. He built steel mills that ran hotter, faster, and smoother than anything the world had ever seen. He measured everything, every second, every cost, every inch of metal. While other businessmen guessed, Carnegie calculated. While they hoped, he engineered. And while they negotiated, he executed. When his competitors raised their prices, he lowered his. When they relaxed, he accelerated. When they tried to breathe, he tightened the pressure. He sold steel below cost not to compete, but to suffocate. And one by one, his rivals broke under the weight. But the moment they collapsed, he bought them for pennies. He wasn't building a business. He was constructing a monopoly. Carnegie's real genius, however, wasn't in steel. It was in timing. He invested when the world panicked. He sold when the world became greedy. When others were blinded by fear, he expanded. When they were intoxicated by optimism, he cashed out. During the Great Railroad Crash, while industries fell like dominoes, Carnegie was the only man smiling. Because he understood something others didn't. Steel wasn't the product. Infrastructure was. Every skyscraper rising from the ground owed him tribute. Every ship, every bridge, every rail line carried his fingerprints. But his greatest weapon wasn't machinery. It was information. Carnegie built a network of informants, accountants, foremen, workers, even secretaries, feeding him whispers from every corner of the steel world. While others relied on rumors, he relied on intelligence. His empire wasn't built on steel, it was built on certainty. But certainty attracts enemies, and Carnegie had many. They tried price wars. They failed. They tried alliances. They failed. They even tried the U.S. government. But every attack only sharpened him. Yet in the shadows, another giant was rising, a man colder, richer, and more ruthless than Carnegie himself, J.P. Morgan. Morgan didn't compete. Morgan consumed. He swallowed companies whole, devoured industries, and expanded his banking empire until it towered over American business like a dark cathedral. And for the first time in his life, Carnegie felt hunted. Morgan wanted the steel empire. Carnegie wanted peace. Only one could win. When the two men finally met, Carnegie didn't fold. He named a price so outrageous it sounded like a joke. $480 million. A fortune so massive it could buy entire cities. Morgan didn't blink, and in a single moment, Carnegie became one of the richest men in the history of the modern world. But wealth was not his final act. Wisdom was. He dedicated his final years to reshaping another empire. Not of steel, but of knowledge. Libraries, universities, music halls, foundations. He poured his fortune into the world because he believed a truth forged in hardship. The greatest investment you can make is in the mind. Carnegie showed that power isn't taken, it's engineered. He proved that enemies aren't obstacles, they're teachers. And he reminded the world that fortune favors the prepared. He outsmarted his rivals, not by chance, but by design. And today, as hidden billionaires still shape industries from the shadows, the real question is this: what advantage are you building while others sleep? Comment your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for the next revelation.